Hi, and welcome to my channel. I'm Sonia Davies, spiritual strategist, and I'm going to be sharing with you a channeled message that has come through this morning. Whenever you're watching this is exactly the right time for you to be watching this. So whether it's today as I put this video out, or in 3 weeks' time or 3 years' time, trust that it's right. Your higher soul self will have brought you here at exactly the right time for you. So today's message is a bit different. It's absolutely a channeled message, but this one is really for those of you who are light workers with a big soul mission. You're already on the journey of being a warrior of light in these incredible and powerful and challenging times. I'm not going to sugarcoat this one. We're under attack, and we see that playing out on the world stage. And if you're like me, I'm a light worker who I disconnect from, like, I don't watch the news, I don't watch those sort of media type things. I try and keep my energy clear from those things. But what's happening now, and today's message is all about, is actually some of those attacks are becoming personal. What I'm going to do today is I'm going to talk a little bit about my personal story, which is what's led to me unlocking this. And as I look back over my last few days of channel writing, I haven't been sharing them because they've been personal, but actually there's been a pattern emerging, and I'm like, oh, hang on. And today my guides were really specific. This message needs to be out there. You need to hear this as well, because you will be under the same attack, because this is for everyone. So let me tell you what's been going on for me. I mean, this feels quite exposing, I'm not going to lie, but I will tell you, because that's what I'm here for, is to lead the way and to show you it's okay, this is all right, it's not just you. And then I'm going to read the channeled message out that came through this morning. And then I'm going to talk a bit more specifically about what came along with that message, the images I got and the sensations I got and things, so that you can apply this to your world, your life, your light. So what's been happening for me, and it's been going on for on and off for a few weeks now, is I've been getting these sort of, I hesitate to call them fantasies, but they're ideas of realities that don't exist, but what if that what if? And there's always a hook with something from my past, or something that I didn't do that I could have done, or whatever it is, choices that I made. What if I'd gone that way instead of that way? That sort of thing. Now, it's important that I tell you this because of what's underneath it, okay? So I've had this playing out on and off over the last few weeks, and it's distracting, right? It's easy for my personal brain to get caught in, oh, what if, and run into, hello, fly, run into the fantasy of, oh, wow, an imagination. Now that's relevant, and the content of that doesn't matter. But what's relevant here is that that is a hook that my brain has used before. Now, over the years, and it's not been recent, I've done a lot of work. I'm a qualified therapeutic coach, I've done all the work on myself, and I know that historically I have had episodes of what they call dissociation. And that's when my brain gets locked into a fantasy land and can't and almost can't cope with reality. I get locked in there, and it holds me there. It holds my attention. Now, that hasn't happened to me for a very long time, because I've done all the work on myself and I've healed all the root blocks. But it's like it's a weak spot in my brain. And what's been happening recently is I've been going back into that pattern. And I actually did a bit of journaling this morning before I did my channel writing, that says this, it doesn't feel right. It's like every time I've tried to clear out the distraction, because I recognize it in myself, and go, no, 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 hang on. I've just spent 2 hours disappearing, sitting on the sofa, disappearing into a fantasy land that doesn't exist. What's going on? And it's almost like there's been a sense of desperation. And that's what I wrote this morning. I read my glass, I need my glasses for that. There's a desperation to this. When I clear it, it comes back with another angle to trap my attention again. So it's getting erratic and it's jumping around and it feels collective. And that's the key. So the reason I'm telling you this is because when you are getting caught up in something in your brain that is there as a historic weakness, it's a bit like a lot of us, particularly extensive light workers, we have issues with our throat chakra because we've been prevented from speaking our truth for so long. And every time we clear it, there's another layer and another layer and another layer. And what I'm really finding is that I had this sense that this didn't feel like it was coming from me, but it was using a spot that was weakness within me, a historic weakness already in my brain. And that's really interesting. So what I'm going to do, and that's a bit of context for where I've been recently, I'm going to read you the channeled message and then I'm going to talk about how this may be impacting you as well. Okay, so I want to invite you, as I always do with these, whether if you're new here, I invite you to actually close your eyes and feel the frequency of the words because I'm an activator. My voice is the activator for these words within you. So feel the frequency of them as much as listening to the words. And after I've read out the message, I will then come back and I'll talk a little bit more about why I've just shared all that story with you and why this is relevant for you. So you might just want to just gently close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath. You feel the duality, and this is correct. Its origins are not within you. It is swirling and trying to catch your attention, to distract you from your purpose. This is not targeted just at you, but at all light beings. It comes from beyond and is an attempt at control and regaining old powers. If you cannot focus on your work, you cannot raise the light on your planet. So distractions are becoming more targeted and desperate. In seeing this and naming it, you break its spell. Name it, speak it, allow the truth to be heard by those who need it. You are here to show the way to others. In your truth and words, others can break their own spells to reconnect with their true paths and purposes too. Do not be afraid, dearest ones. You are beings of love and light, and the energy that seeks to distract you cannot fulfill its intention despite its desperation. You witness its death throes. It is chaotic, but remain grounded in light as you have always been. You are divine and you are glorious in your light, in love, in truth, in light. It's a powerful message today. It really is. And the reason I shared my story and what I've been dealing with, that almost dissociation again, which is not where I'm at all, it feels wrong. It's got a different quality to it. And this message is saying really clearly, this is an attack. And it's not a it's an individual attack that's coming through the collective. Trying to get my words through. There's something making me stumble here, and I think that's part of it. We can see in the media, in the news, in what's going on geopolitically right now across the planet, this is the death throes of an old regime. And it's getting more chaotic, more loud, more noisy, more desperate in what it's doing and what it's playing out. And we're witnessing that and we're feeling that as light workers, we're feeling that in ourselves. And when I was receiving this message, I had a sense of this doesn't have human origin. This is galactic origin. This is the battle that is raging energetically for control of this planet. And what I really got as I was receiving this message today, was a sense of those energies, those entities, whatever form they take, that are trying to maintain the old regime, they know they're losing, and they do not want us to stand in our full power. And we are so close to claiming the fullness of our entire power again. We're so close. And they don't want that. So what they're doing is they're targeting us individually now as well. Now, I'm not talking about I'm trying to work out how to explain this in human words, because it's a concept that I feel it, I sense it, and you may feel it as well. But I'll try. It's almost like I get a sense of a mist being applied to the planet that's specifically targeted to and coded to light workers. Like a DNA connection with light workers. And it's drawn to our light and it latches onto us, and that mist is trying to stop us being in our light. Now, I explained to you that mine has been showing up as this form of dissociation. And that's because that's been something that I've experienced in my life before. For you, it may show up. I mean, it may be the same thing if that's something you've experienced, or it may show up in, I'm getting a set of things like, I don't know, if you've had an old habit that you've quit, you've stopped, and now suddenly you find yourself going back to it again, and you're questioning, you go, why the heck am I doing this? I stopped doing this 7 years ago. Why am I doing it now? Or whatever number of years. Interesting, I said 7 when Uranus has just shifted. Anyway, I'm drawing patterns there in my head. I stopped doing this thing, or maybe you've stopped a habit that you actively chose. Like maybe you've been exercising for the last 5 years and suddenly you've gone, oh, I can't be bothered, and you find yourself stopping. But there's something to it that is, it doesn't quite feel like it's you. There's a slight quality that feels slightly off, slightly misaligned. That's what this is. It may be negative thought patterns. You could be slipping into a form of depression, even in a more extreme case, or just that negative self-talk, something that says, why am I doing this? I should give it all up and I should stop doing what I'm doing and go and do something else. Whatever. It will show up for you in a way that is unique to you. But what it's doing, what I get a sense of it, almost like this invisible mist that's tapping into us specifically and molding itself to what our specific experiences are on this planet. So for me, it's a disassociation thing. For you, it might be restarting an old habit that you'd stopped, or whatever it is, really negative self-talk, something. But what I want to invite you to do, two things I want to invite you to do to deal with this, because this is important. This impacts all of us. Remember who you are. All of this journey, this ascension process, whatever label you want to put on it, is about remembering who we truly are. Take a moment to connect in with your truth. I really want to invite you just to take a moment, just to step out of it and look at it and notice the thing that you've started doing recently. Like I say, mine's been over the last, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 weeks, on and off. I don't know. It's been ramping up recently. That's why I'm kind of going, hang on, something about this doesn't feel right. Notice it. Have a look at it and go, yeah, why have I done that? I'd stopped doing that thing and now I've started again. Why? Why did I do that? And if you can't find a rational reason why, it's probably because this is an attack. And it's an attack specifically at us light workers who are making a difference to the planet. We are releasing the old power and control mechanisms. And those who have benefited from those are not enjoying that. And they're trying to hold us down. So the first thing I would advise you to do, if anything, is to notice it. Just take a moment, step back from yourself and go, why is this happening? Why has this suddenly changed? What's going on here? Because in noticing it, you can do something about it. I mean, it's even in here, in seeing this and naming it, you break its spell. Name it, speak it out loud to yourself. The power of the voice is really strong right now. So allow yourself to notice it and speak it. And the other thing that's really important is it's time to up for all of us, myself included, to increase our spiritual hygiene and our layers of protection. We always knew this was coming. We always knew this attack was happening, and it's happening out there in the world very loudly, and we see that. And that in itself is a form of distraction so that we don't focus on what's going on inside of us and this kind of attack that's happening as well. This is really important. This is the work for people like you and me. This is where we are being asked to step up and to say, no, I'm not going to be attacked. I'm not going to be taken down. I'm going to shine my light. I'm going to rise above that mist. When you see what that mist is that's holding you back, it's trying to anchor you back into your 3D. This is about you creating boundaries and barriers that say, no, that's not happening. So spiritual hygiene, increase it. Genuinely, I want to say, if any of this resonates with you at all, and the fact that you're here watching this means that something in you will be responding to this, even if you can't coordinated see it right now, ask your higher soul self, ask your team in spirit, ask your guardian angels to actually support you in understanding what it is it's doing and how it's playing out for you, but B, to increase your protection, increase your boundaries, keep your spiritual hygiene really high. I'm going to be ramping mine up as a result of seeing this today. And that's things like, if you want some help with that, then I'll, let me know in the comments and tell me how this is playing out for you, because I am here to help you. That's why I'm doing these videos. It's not because I've separated this part of what I do here and these channel messages from my business side. If you want to know about my business, just ask me, that's fine. But this is my service to our process, our humanity, our journey of light back into the light. This is part of what I'm doing. So if you want some help, some pointers with increasing spiritual hygiene, with maintaining stronger boundaries, just ask. I mean, for me, it's practical things like more grounding, a lot more grounding, actually drinking more water because that helps flush through, blessing the water. Bless the water every time you drink it, before you drink it. Because that raises the light quotient in the water, which also then transpires out to everyone. I work with dragons a lot. I ask dragons to hold boundaries, to hold protective energies around me, to fly around me and bat away any negative energies. You can ask your guardian angels, you can ask, do it your way. Lots of nature, lots of water, lots of spiritual protection, but also coming into yourself, connecting with your higher soul self, taking that time for meditation or for pause, letting your brain switch off, move away from technology. Technology it's bombarding us and it's distracting our brains so that we step away from our light that's in our heart. I'm aware that this is a longer video than usual, but this one's really, really important. So I'm really hoping this has been useful for you. Please do reach out to me. Drop a comment below. Please hit the like button if this has been of any use to you at all, because honestly, I think the more of us that understand what's going on, the better. The more we can hold in our light, we can maintain our frequency at a higher level. and we can begin to break through some of these energies. They're in their death throes. It literally said, you're witnessing its death throes. That's what it's doing. And it's desperate. Those energies are desperate right now. Those beings are desperate. Don't be taken down by them. It's almost like this is part of the final hurdle. This is the most concentrated, hectic, chaotic part of this process. We all knew this was coming, but when it starts to get personal, it's more difficult, right? So I'm hoping that this has helped in some way. Let me know. Tell me. Give me some feedback. Tell me what's come up for you. And I want to say, above all, you are not on your own. If you do want help with any of this, do feel free to reach out to me. Again, in my business, that's what I do, is I support lightworkers and help them release and clear trauma from any lifetime. I want to help you. This is part of my service. This is part of my purpose. As a Pleiades High Council member, I am here to help with the healing process on this planet right now. So I'm going to leave that there. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. I am sending you love and light, and I hope you are well. Take care, and I will see you soon.